Blah blah blah. We'll be going to mission to Chulet. Ruins of Chulet, which lie somewhere west of Vaz. So that's Vaz, that's west of Vaz, and I know our direction to the Zainab camp mentioned them being on the beast, the ruins being seen somewhere here, so it should be fairly close. We'll go to the ruins, then to the Zainab camp. Kagauti. Yeah, first order of business, there's a mountain range there, so we'll try to get to the hilly parts and then just move south. We could replenish our alchemy stocks too. We do need to produce new alchemical potions for sale constantly. It's probably one of our most easiest ways of producing money. And if we're going to intend to do some trading, we're gonna need a lot of money. Diseased elite. This uh, I don't know the history of the Elder Scrolls games too accurately, so I can't say if this is the first game of this type with this type of engine, but it sure feels like it. It's one of those things I could say sort of breaks further breaks the immersion. Not enough magicka. It's not hard to see if you imagine how would you collect alchemical ingredients from these? Maybe point at a target and press some kind of a use key and you automatically get the ingredient. What you probably wouldn't do is open up some kind of an inventory system and force the player to manually either... yeah. You cannot place items in this container. Why is it a container in the first place? Why can't I just click on it and it automatically puts the alchemy ingredients in my inventory? There are a lot of the skilling system, why is it broken at the earliest game? It seems like this is a first attempt to sort of try this type of a system. Again, I don't know if that's the case. That's how it feels because it is so severely lacking in any kind of polish and convenience. It feels like no one either really play tested this, or it really was a first game in a type that wasn't. There wasn't a system you could copy. It did something for the first time. And subsequently with Oblivion and then Skyrim, you have a lot of tweaking and polishing of the basic same engine or system, making some usability issues better, although the inventory in Skyrim is absolutely god-awful. But that's more of a... that feels more like a console versus PC thing, and not an actual crappy design choice. It's a crappy design for a PC. I can say if it's bad for a console or not. But it's a very amateurish PC user interface. But in most areas at least, it feels like with every game Bethesda made, they listened to a lot of the main gripes and problems that people have in the game and genuinely tried to improve upon things. And I think for the most part they've been quite successful at it. What I sort of dislike with their newest, I guess, Skyrim, is that some of the quest lines are very unbelievable and short. The Telvanni questline I've been doing for God knows how long is probably longer than many of the quest lines in the Skyrim combined. And I don't think I'm exaggerating at all with that. That's the thing. Even if some of the time is spent just because of the slower traveling system, in Skyrim, major quest line is probably something like 8 to 10 quests. Here, I think I'm currently the mouth of that's my rank, and in order to reach this point, I've had to do at least a dozen missions. What? We've had something like 5 mouths giving us missions. We've done at least a few for everyone. Much more for some. We've done a quest for their leaders. So it might be closer to 20 at this point. Or end up there. It's above 20. So I don't want to complain about the number of quests, because there are quests and there are quests, so naturally you can make a little bit more involved and better quests rather than have fetch quests, a lot of meaningless fetch quests. But what it does, the benefit of the larger amount of quests, is that the progression within the organization feels more natural. I think if you have a short quest line, like in Skyrim, and you go from an apprentice to a leader of basically the entire guild, it feels forced. It feels like even after experiencing all that, you should not be you should not be the leader of the guild. Nothing you've done really warrants that. Surely you did something great to help the guild. You did a huge service to it. That does not make you a leader. When you have a ton of quests where you drafted from the lowly peon to more important things, more involved quests, more larger favors for the house, it feels like it's more deserved. You went... Is that active? It is active! What an annoying buzzing. Chronicles of Chulet. I'll take that. I'm not sure the leadership part is done any better in this game though. But you feel like you've progressed through the ranks. It wasn't just... the higher position wasn't just given to you because the game developers decided to magic it onto you because you're the hero and you need to be the leader of everything. It feels more like, yeah, you were the scum of earth when you came here, basically a meanest guy, but you did everything they expected of you. You've done the work, you've done the meanest stuff, you've done the important stuff. You deserve your place. That's certainly something I feel that the more recent versions of this have definitely gone downhill. And I dislike it because it's one of those things that does break immersion. Ooh, diamond. Got a lot of gems from this place. Because I at least like to play these games because it throws you into a fantastical world that you try to adapt to. Instead of playing a game where you get handed your leadership position in a guild because you're the main character in the game. You need to have a in-game justification for that, and I don't think the newer games provide that justification all that well. They're sort of seem like they're in a hurry to push you through to the end where they can give you the guild leadership pat on the back and tell you you were a good boy, you did fine by basically doing something that you were expected to do anyway. You didn't do anything truly exceptional to warrant your leadership. You did something certainly exceptional, so your standing within the guild should be high. Very valued. Maybe you would be in a good position to vie for the leadership when it becomes available, but that's all. You still need to sort of consolidate that position or struggle it out with something else. Was that it? Yeah, this was a really small site. And again, I don't want I'm not complaining about that because the lack of missions, but because it breaks the immersion. So now thinking about it, I do feel this game does the immersion part better as far as the game world is concerned, but the newer games do it better in that it's easier to get into the game instead of constantly feeling like you're playing the game. This game world makes a lot of sense. The illusion of sense at least is better. Let's put it that way. It's an illusion. Naturally, you feel it when you see the AI characters walking around. You can't help but notice that they're being retarded. The newer games, when you shoot someone with an arrow through their eye, and after they get alerted for a moment, and then a few moments pass, and they calm down, and the arrow is still sticking from their face, and you hear them saying, it must have been the wind. You sort of, it takes you out of the immersion a bit, if you get what I mean. Something like that just wouldn't happen. No one would ever in a million years say something so stupid. React in such a way. So neither are flawless, but the newer games relies the immersion is better supported by the game mechanics. But on the negative side, it feels like it needs that support more than this game does. If I'd have to make my, I guess, dream Elder Scrolls game from the three that I've played, it would be more like Morrowind, but with modern game mechanics. And I think there's some people are making a remake of Morrowind with the Skyrim engine. So I guess that would be a good mix of the two. Try to take both, best of the both two worlds, and mix it into something new and exciting. I think the game deserves it, because just taking the Skyrim engine and the system, and you wouldn't have to modify too much, and just creating this world and in that system would, I think, be a better game than Morrowind, and be probably a better game than Skyrim. But I also think it's more relies on. It's not to say that it does Skyrim better, because it's more of a refining of the game that someone else made. That's usually an easier job than just creating something from nothing. I wouldn't know how well it works though, because this dialogue system in this game is not really a dialogue system. It's more about you trying to unlock new options in a topic tree. That's what it is, a topic tree, not a dialogue. So it's a lot less engaging, but I guess because of that, it is better written, because that's all they have to go on. It feels bad when you speak out aloud, but no one would because it constantly repeats phrases, key phrases that are redundant in a conversation. But thanks to that they had only text to write, it can go into a lot of detail and explain stuff. And at times it's not terrible, but it doesn't flow quite as smoothly as a normal dialogue would. Another diseased animal. I guess level scaling is popping its ugly head in our game at last. But at least at this point, I don't feel the level scaling to be a bad thing. What it did in the opening game was keep those diseased and blighted creatures away from my game, and I think that's a good, good thing. I'm reminded of Might and Magic 6. The opening dungeons available to the player are filled with disease and poisonous creatures, and it's a hellish experience trying to go through there with a low-level character party. So not enough magic. I feel this type of approach would have been much easier and preferable for a new player experience. Basically, have the opening dungeons, the places where new players are naturally will be directed to and exploring first, the places where such status-affecting creatures would be very rare or non-existent, so the player sort of can get his feet wet before getting in and getting a few abilities, getting to know the system before he has to deal with the status effect system. It's just common sense. It's not unique to this game. Dungeons and Dragons usually does that too. Low-level enemies are fairly straightforward. They're very simple enemies with very few special abilities. But when you increase in level, they don't necessarily become more dangerous in the... well, not in the sense that they just keep on scaling their damage and hit points to just make them more dull versions of and tedious versions of the original monsters. What they do is usually give their more special abilities, so poison, paralysis, stun, disease, something that will make party have to deal with status effects and disabling abilities, and that's usually enough to keep things interesting. But more importantly, it's something you don't want to stick on a new characters because they have no way to deal with those. A bad dice roll leaves you totally crippled or dead. How would we get rid of a disease at the early game? We wouldn't unless the game packed us with some kind of a get rid of disease abilities. We know now that we can restore attributes at the Imperial Cult and Temple. But when we started this game, we were nowhere near such things, and we didn't even know what they do. So at the early family tombs, you could encounter undead. So potentially even creatures might sap your strength. What would you do if someone really sapped your strength at an early game? You can't sleep it off, you don't have any spells to remove it, you can't use any scrolls, you can't use alchemy, you don't know what temples are and what they do. I think the normal temple don't even always have the restore attributes. The Imperial cult has them. So if you went to a normal temple first and talked to the wrong guy or wrong enchantment there or blessing there, you might think that you can't get rid of them by going to a temple. So this type of level scaling I totally get. And in this game, oh, it's certainly warranted. Jesus Christ, the early game is bad enough without that having to worry about status effect. Ah, but yeah. I'm just worried about how far it'll go. We're at level 10 so far, that's fairly low I think, because there's a lot of room. All these skills should go to 100, that's our maximum level. We're looking at skills at 17 at some point. We have one over 50. Two. Short blade and alchemy. Everything else is either close to 50 or radically below it, so we're not even halfway there, not nearly. We'll be reaching what? How many points do we have? Oh, not a lot. Jesus Christ, not a lot at all. Yeah, we're not even halfway there. We're not nearly halfway there. So level 20 something would be, I guess, 20 plus would be a mid-range character. So we're still at the early stages, but we're not at a total newbie stage. So we have a solid idea what the game world is about. You come to us, Outlander. You ask us about trade goods wanted among the Zainab. We are just the women, no one listens to us. But since you ask, we will tell you what we think. Concerning this, I can only speak to a friend. Seems sensible enough. Let's see if our persuade spell will make a difference here. We Zainab make everything we need. We do not need things from outsiders. But our men get common diseases and blight diseases when they go out hunting or tending the herds. They are sometimes gone for long times and cannot return all the way back to the camp to be cured by the wise women. The Cell people make the bottled magics that cure common disease and blight disease, but the Zainab are often in short supply of these things. Such bottled magics might be the trade goods we would want. Again, that's a perfectly sensible trade good to think of. Again, these aren't savages, these are very capable people just living a nomadic lifestyle. Everyone knows the people who worship Mehrunes Dagon have returned to Indoranian. It is none of our business and they are very unpleasant if disturbed. They stay in the dark and do not bother us or our herds. They call them corpus beasts. They come from Red Mountain. Once they were men, then the light storms came. They walk in the storms, they get sick, grow fat and stupid, Now they wander like mad beasts, killing and eating. Very bad, very bad. Little advice, go around trouble, leave it behind you. Then return later when you can give trouble a big surprise. You know about Degath-ur. Degath-ur is the devil and the enemy. Degath-ur and his beasts and servants are the source of many evils that beset the dwemer and Morrowind. Degath-ur dwells in fiery caverns beneath Red Mountain, served by his kin, called ash vampires, and by legions of deformed monsters. So, no love for the Degath-ur. Urshilaku camp is inland along the northern coast of Vardenfell. Many footsteps east of the village of Cool, south as the razor flies from Redania. Yeah, I don't know where Cool is, I don't know where Redania is. I think that's our mission completed. Still might take a look at what else is here. Archibal's yurts.
Probably nothing.
So you came all this way to ask us about the trade goods wanted among the Zainab? Well then, this will be a very easy matter. Trade goods we have in plenty. What does the Outlander think we are, savages? Because we do not have the things the settled people have? Big buildings, heavy furniture. We have no use for this trash. And do we need to dress ourselves in foolish clothes and stand about with fancy weapons to feel like men? Ha! But of course you do not know the Ashlanders. It is not your fault, Outlander. Disturbing dreams. Speak to a wise woman, they know the lore of dreams.
My time is precious, so make it quick.
Minasaurus Yard. Champion and Gula Khan of the Ashlanders. Carry good nourishing food. When you stumble warily into trouble, eat and refresh yourself so you can fight well. Ashkan, this is the leader. Welcome, Outlander. The hospitality of the open-handed Zainab is always open to travelers. Travelers are always welcome here, Outlander. All that is required is that you speak and act with courtesy, and you share your news of the outside world to pay for your hospitality, or a wise chief keeps himself informed about events. Thank you for sharing these tales and rumors. For our part, we have little news. We hear other tribes are troubled by blight storms and monsters, but we are mighty Zainab, and such things do not bother us. They got her. Yeah, same thing we already heard. Red Mountain is a great mountain of fire in the center of Vardenfell. The outer slopes are steep and rugged, and the crater is deep and filled with burning rock. Beasts and servants of the devil Degath-ur live on Red Mountain. The settled people build a magical barrier called Ghost Fence to keep the evil inside. With the Ghost Fence, rain never falls and the sun never shines. The only weather is the red and deadly ash flood.
Speak, traveler.
We should probably visit the ghost fence at some point too. I'm Ashhurdan. I'm the trader here in Zainab camp. So you want to know the trade goods wanted among Zainab? I can tell you what I think. I told you we need nothing. They have a lot of crap. 300 gold, that's not much. I could sell my dwemer short sword. Yeah, you need nothing. No one will ever grow rich hunting, but it is a pure pleasure for itself. Take your time, sneak up on your prey, surprise it with a swift silent arrow. There is no greater pleasure than to drop a cliff racer with a single arrow. Hey, where's the wise woman? I need to talk to someone about my bad dreams. Oh, they have a welcome mat. This has to be the wise woman yard. Yes.
I will listen, Outlander, but make it quick.
Spells. What spells could you have? Rapid regeneration. Drain speed. Shield. Divine aid. Yeah, restore some abilities. No poison. Detect enchant. I'll buy that. My reason for that is think about the situation where you have to find a magical item somewhere and it's not in a clearly marked position. So you could just cast a spell and it would highlight it on your map. That's how the detect animals at least works. Disturbing dreams. Okay, that's Sparta. She has nothing. These dreams are the sendings of the Sharmat Degath They are evil sending. Lack lies. Do not listen to these dreams or they will drive you mad. It's pretty much what I expected. Okay, Nervar. In ancient days, the Deep Elves and a great host of outlanders from the west came stealing the land of the dwemer. In that time, Nervar was the great Khan and war leader of the house people, but he honored the ancient spirits and the tribal law, and became one of us. So when Nervar pledged upon his great ring of the ancestors, one clan under moon and star, to honor the ways of the spirits and rights of the land, all the tribes joined the house people fighting a great battle at Red Mountain. Though many dwemer tribesmen and housemen died at Red Mountain, the dwemer were defeated and their evil magics destroyed, and the outlanders driven from the land. But after this great victory, the power-hungry Khans of the great houses slew Nervar in secret, set themselves up as gods and forgot Nervar's promise to the tribes. But Nervar will come again and cast down the false gods, and by the power of his ring will make good his promises, honor the spirits and drive the outsiders from the land. Yeah, we've done this. Okay, I think our options are now pretty much clear. There's nothing we can do here anymore. I'm certainly not gonna start stealing stuff here. I'm an ambassador from my old patron, so it's gonna leave a bad impression. I want to finish the 2 quests I completed. One was for him, the Zainab camp.
Ah, greetings. What shall we talk about?
Work. Thank you for your report. So you think cure common disease and cure blight disease potions would be valuable trade goods? That makes sense. Mr. Arian will be pleased. He can produce such potions very easily. Well done, fool. Here's your 100 drakes with my thanks. I'll tell Master Arian how you've handled this. I think he'll be pleased. And here, you'll find this amulet handy when visiting Talbani wizards. The amulet of levitating, yeah. That could have been useful a long time ago. It's still useful, I don't have to wait for my fatigue to go up before I can levitate. The other was inside with Mora. I think we'll just do a divine intervention. Might as well train mysticism while we're at it.
Come on, I haven't got all day, you know. Come on, I haven't got all day, you know.
Okay, our mysticism sometimes is something under 50. 44. So how much do we have to raise it? It's the skill we're hoping to raise so we can get promotions in the Telbani hub. So how far do we have to raise it? It's a harmless skill to trade. This is still a pretty ridiculous thing I have to do. I'm probably casting more spells right now than I'll ever cast mysticism spells through the entire game. There just isn't enough legitimate use for this type of spells to constantly be using. But you have to use them constantly, otherwise you can never really get to use them properly. I guess there could be a better balance if it didn't care how many times you cast something, it cared like how much spell points you spend there or something like that. Maybe level of the spell you use. Although there are no levels here. So, but this, every casting seems to count as the same. It's just so open for abuse. More importantly, it's
Is there something I can do for you, Outlander?
The speed shouldn't be equal. If you're using destruction spells, sure, you can see that you need to cast quite a lot because you constantly have to do all your fighting with the spells, but these aren't meant to be constantly used. There's no real use for them inside the game. You'd have to go out of your way to try to make use of them. So basically that just amounts to you spamming them for no real reason. Just exactly what I'm doing now. Malam Ryan. Have you found the plans? Yes, I have. Good. If you were a successful Archmagister, Gothran wanted you to have this. Gothran's Cephalopod Hill. Which is what? Bound Helm, okay. Summon Remora for 120 seconds on self. That's not a minor ability. That's quite a lot. That's quite a lot indeed. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, I can't do jobs for him. So 4 mouths. That's probably a dozen missions before you get access to a patron and all. Yeah, we're probably looking closer to 20 missions overall. These do take quite a lot of time. Some of them
Is there something I can do for you,
So
Outlander?
even though the initial missions were pretty much uninteresting fetch quests, now we're doing quite complex missions. So I can't say that, yeah. Go to Shishi, defend it against enemy attack, steal items from other people, recover Robe of Drake's Pride from Sini's window. Tell a rune and a mere child of 200 years. What? Wait. What the hell is Tell a rune? Was Telmora? Where's Telarune? Should be in. Should be somewhere on the east coast because it's that's where our area of control is. Telbranora. Yeah, Blackmar. We don't even know where that is. Telarune. Huh. Shishi. Okay, we'll either do Shishi or Drake's Pride. It's not House Redoran quest, it's House Sylvani naturally. Master Gothran. I don't think we've even met Master Gothran. So. Well, now we have a goal to go after, don't we? A new city of Telvani to... Can we even get there by boat? I don't recall... Well, naturally I don't recall because I haven't actually found the goddamn city yet. But... Where could it be? Surely there has to be a quick travel option there. I don't recall a major skill option there. Maybe Silstrider? Although on this coast a boat seems the most likely option. Telaroon?
Go ahead.
No. Ebenholt, Telbrenora, Telmora, Dagonfell. Is it Dagonfell then? But surely it can't be. Telfer was also... I didn't know it was there until someone told me. Maybe it's a closer location then, but not an actual city, more of a... just a tower. No, Telnaga. So it's not this one. It's Telmora is a different one. Telvos is a different one. Telfer is a different one. Telbrenora is a different one. So where is... So we're missing a city. Probably. I'll end here. We'll worry about our missing city some other time.